Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to a new series on here called Wait What? Basically a series where I dig out old news articles concerning Liverpool Football Club, which will either make you laugh, cry, or make you want to put your head in a pint or an oven, which I once did in a video on here. I think that was when we signed Danny Ings. I can't remember. So today's gem, as you can see, is the time Liverpool thought Roy Hodgson was the man to take us forward. Yes, that actually did happen. So I've compiled my notes. We're going to go over an intro, if you like, and then I'm going to read you an actual article concerning the appointment of Roy Hodgson as Liverpool manager. And I remember when Roy Hodgson was appointed Liverpool manager. I'm sure you do as well. But basically, I had a source at the time that said Sammy Lee's on a train going down to London now to meet Roy Hodgson. I can guarantee he's got the job, Duncan. And I was able to run an exclusive at the time saying that. And people were like, yeah, right. And it was fucking true. I can't remember who the source was. I've got a vague memory of it. But yes, Sammy Lee, it's true, Dunk. He's on his way to London right now on the train to go meet Roy Hodgson. So, Roy Hodgson arrived at Anfield in July 2010, 15 fucking years ago, talking about the biggest job in club football. He was polite, he was respected, and he was fresh off a fairy tale run with Fulham. Liverpool lined up Gerrard, Carragher, Perez, and Mascherano, players he hoped to convince to stay. Kenny Dalglish gave his blessing. Carragher said the squad had been given a lift, and the board insisted no players needed to be sold. On paper, it all looked calm, steady, and respectable. The headlines painted him as a safe pair of hands who'd restore order after Rafa's exit. But in reality, it was like letting your nan drive a Ferrari down the M62. Hodgson might have been a gentleman, but he was completely out of his depth. He spoke about honour and stability while the football on the pitch was absolute torture. Paulson, Konchesky, hoofball tactics. It was a managerial fever dream nobody wanted to wake up in. And this is the article that I've taken a look at for you today to remind you of how good things are today, okay? So, Roy Hodgson leaves Fulham to become Liverpool manager. This was published by BBC Sport on Thursday, the 1st of July 2010. Roy Hodgson has been named Liverpool's new manager after signing a 3-year contract on Thursday. Hodgson oversaw the first day of pre-season training and was due to meet key men Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher. This is the biggest job in club football, and I'm honoured to be taking on Britain's most successful football club, Hodgson told the club's website. The 62-year-old joins from Fulham, where he took charge in December 2007 and guided to the Europa Cup final. Hodgson succeeds Rafa Benitez, who left Liverpool by mutual consent at the start of June before joining European champions Inter Milan. If you're a long-time viewer of mine, you will know that a friend of mine received an email overnight, the night that, before Rafa was sacked, which was sent by Christian Perslow. And my friend shared the same Christian name as who that email was intended for. So obviously Perslow had typed in the name and the auto-suggestion had given the wrong recipient. And the email was sent to my friend that said, basically, we're going to sack Rafa in the morning. This is how we're going to do it. This is the story. This is what we're all going with. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. Right? And my friend at the time wasn't very happy with the way the club was being run. He was someone that was in contact with Christian Perslow. Hence having the email address come up as an auto-suggest or whatever. And basically replied and said, I don't think this was intended for me. All right. And Perslow allegedly was like, oh shit, don't say anything. But it was at a time when people wanted change at Liverpool Football Club, to do with the ownership and all the drama that was going on. And my friend sent it to me straight away. And I still have that email somewhere. So basically, middle of the night, I'm told Rafa's been sacked the next day before Rafa even knew himself. And I was gutted, to be honest with you. So Hodgson succeeds Rafa Benitez, who left Liverpool by mutual consent at the start of June before joining European champions Inter Milan. The BBC understands Fulham hope to have a successor in place in time for their pre-season training camp in mid-July. Club captain Gerrard believes Hodgson's extensive experience in Europe make him the right man for Liverpool. I think it's been worth the wait, and I'm sure he's just keen now to get on with it and start to quickly put in place his plans for the new season, said the 30-year-old. One of Hodgson's first priorities is securing the futures of Gerrard, star striker Fernando Torres, and midfielder Javier Mascherano. Fucking hell, they were great players, weren't they? They deserve better, didn't they, guys? All three players who have been linked with big money moves away from Anfield are vital to Liverpool's hopes of reviving their Champions League ambitions, having missed out on a place in next season's competition after finishing 7th in the Premier League. And Liverpool chairman Martin Broughton assured Hodgson he would not have to offload players to service the club's huge debts of about £350 million. Players are not for sale, Broughton told the news conference. We don't need the money and we don't have to sell them because of the debt. Hodgson, who is not allowed to sign Fulham players as part of his severance deal with the London club, added, I don't think there's anybody here at the club who would welcome losing them. Certainly the fans wouldn't welcome losing them, and as a club I'm sure will do everything we can to make certain they stay with us. I'll be trying to persuade them that this is the place to be. I'll ask them to give me a chance to work with you and give us a chance to improve on last season. They're all disappointed, I'm sure, after last season's results, and I'll be doing my level best. It would be foolish to give guarantees that it's going to happen because I can't speak for the players themselves, but I'll be doing my best to keep them. Liverpool legend Kenny Dalglish, who is now an ambassador at the club and was linked with the manager's job, insisted he welcomed Hodgson's appointment. I look very favourable on it, he told the Daily Mail. I have known Roy a long time and have a great respect for him. We've not had detailed conversations yet, but my interests are in Liverpool. Now, I can also tell you that around the same period that it was alleged that Kenny Dalglish was telling a friend of mine that he felt that the ownership at the time, FSG at the time, were basically using him like a pope at Liverpool. In other words, whenever they needed some good PR, or whenever they needed FSG, to the fans calming down, we need the wheel Kenny Dalglish out, and that was what was alleged at the time, that Kenny was maybe saying things publicly like that, but behind the scenes he was they're fucking taking the piss. Alleged, all right? I 1,000,000,000% believe it because I know who the source is on that, all right? So Dalglish will now be given a new role as the main link between the academy at Kirkby and the senior squad at Melwood. And I should just add as well, I don't think it's any secret at the time that Kenny's wife was very unhappy with the ownership, but obviously Kenny had been given the boot and stuff like that. But that relationship was repaired, all right? This is just talking about back in the day. Hodgson was due to meet club stalwarts Gerrard and Carragher after the news conference and revealed he would implore them to stay at the club. My talk with them will be about how much I want to work with them, how much I want them to stay at the club, how much the club and fans want them to stay, and that by staying at the club we can achieve as much success as they could find by leaving, Hodgson said. That is all I can say to them. Then, of course, it is a case of making certain with your actions on the training ground and match days, they see you are not just talking but are practicing what you preach. I'll be trying to persuade them that their future is with the club they love and have always played for. They are more than just Liverpool Football Club players. They are the heartbeat and very much the soul of this team. I hope they won't be tempted on the back of one disappointing year to jump ship. I personally can't nail their feet to the floor. I'll try to convince them that if they stay here and have a good season, then it's a good club to play for. Carragher said he welcomed the appointment of Hodgson after a turbulent period in the club's history. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of working with Roy Hodgson, as he's got such a great reputation in the game and is one of the most experienced managers in world football, said the England centre-back. After this period of uncertainty, his appointment has given us all a lift. Liverpool moved quickly after Hodgson was linked with the England managerial job after the team's World Cup failure. Hodgson has extensive domestic and international managerial experience across Europe, including spells in charge of Blackburn Rovers and Switzerland, who he guided to the last 16 of the 1994 World Cup. His departure is a bitter blow for Fulham, with whom Hodgson signed a 12-month rolling contract in December last year. Hodgson arrived at Craven Cottage in December 2007 after the sacking of Laurie Sanchez, guiding the club clear of relegation in his first season back in the Premier League. He then forged a competitive unit with astute signings like Norway defender Brede Hangeland, Australia goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer, and Hungary midfielder Zoltan Gera. His exploits with Fulham last season, which included wins over Juventus and Wolfsburg en route to a 2-1 Europa Cup final defeat by Atletico Madrid in Hamburg, earned him the League Managers Association Manager of the Year award in May. The club would like to wish Roy the very best for the future and thanks him for all that was achieved during his tenure, said a club statement. Ray Lewington, who was the assistant manager, will take temporary charge of team matters until a successor is announced in due course. So Roy was the wrong man at the wrong time at the wrong club. Nice fella, sure. But watching his Liverpool was like being promised steak and chips, then being served a pot noodle with the kettle missing. So what do you think? Do you remember them days, guys? I can honestly say, during my time doing this with Cop Talk, and as a Liverpool supporter, which is even longer, that the Hodgson appointment was just fucking mind-blowing, really. But then again, you know, Liverpool didn't have the bottle to sack Roy Evans and brought in that, that was going to sound disrespectful, and I was going to say, and brought in that Gerard Houllier. That's my poor English on my part. As you know, I fucking adore Gerard Houllier. God bless him. No, what they did was they didn't have the bottle. This is what I was told by club insiders at the time. Oh, they haven't got the bottle to get rid of Roy, so they're bringing in Gerard Houllier to co-manage Premier League team. When you think about it, we were the fucking laughing stock a couple of times in those years gone by. When you think about things, and I felt for Roy. I love Roy. I love Roy, and I love Gerard Houllier. Roy is probably my favourite Liverpool manager of all time, to be honest with you. Just when I talk about, like, just such a nice man, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know, I love Rafa. As Tom Hicks would say, Rafa. Rafa, for sure. No, I don't know. Listen, how do you say who your favourite Liverpool manager was? Are you just going to base it on what they won? You know, Kenny Dalglish was the player manager when I first started supporting Liverpool as a young lad. You know, we had great managers. You know, Gerard Houllier reminded me and us what it was like to win again with all the changes and what happened in 2001. Obviously, we had Rafa as well, fucking mint, you know. We've had all these great managers. Jurgen, we've got Arne Slot now. And obviously, there'll be people older than me that go back before Dalglish, obviously before my time. But the two that didn't really seemed very Liverpoolish for me was Roy Hodgson and Brendan Rodgers. And as much as they can be nice guys, and it's not being mean or anything, they just never felt like the right appointments for me. And I'm sure you'd feel the same. Brendan got close, obviously, but I felt that we were schooling him, you know. And this football club has come a long way since this, all right? And I'm not being mean, I'm just being honest. And I'm sure you'd agree with me. So on here, I'm going to look at old articles, you know, old things that happen with the club, good and bad. And if you like this feature, please do let me know. If you've enjoyed this video, please do let me know, because I'm trying to give you something a little bit different than, you know, thumbnails like this, you know, and oh my God, you know, we've got a new signing and it turns out to be, you know, 7-year-old fucking, do you know what I mean, don't you? What I'm trying to do is take you away from all the clickbaity, you know, like just fucking transfer stuff. And if it interests me, looking back and going, fucking hell, do you remember that? Then there must be at least one person watching this video that's thinking, yeah, I like a reminder of stuff, just maybe not stuff as depressing as that, don't. Let me know. If you like it, I'll continue to do these kind of videos, probably do one a day or something like that. If you don't, I won't bother. All right, let me know what you think, guys. If you did appreciate my efforts, maybe you didn't like the video about what it was about, then please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. That's important on this video, I think. If you want to get me a beer or a coffee, There's a love heart under the video. It's called the Super Thanks. I always give a shout out to people that do that in my morning briefings on my YouTube channel. If you don't see a love heart, there are links in the video description as well that you can use instead. But I always give a shout out to people that do that basically on my morning briefings on the Duncan Oldham channel. The link to that is in the video description and it'll pop up on screen as well. And it's my birthday on Saturday. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Huh? What do you reckon then? Is this all right? Are you going to like this feature, do you think? Yeah, I'm going to try and find all sorts of different things, you know, like take it like down memory lane or something like that. What do you think? Let me know, guys. Cheers.